nervous? Excited?
Very nervous and very excited.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We have a Mazda RX-7N for a turbo swap, which originally started as a nitrous car. I'm not going to get too much into it. We'll let the owner of the car tell you all about it. But if you enjoy this video, leave us some comments and be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. You nervous? Excited?
Very nervous and very excited.
Okay, we're going to try to get some dyno pulls in on this. This car has a very good backstory to it.
Absolutely.
We'll get into that later on. Give us a little front side story of, I guess you could say, how the car started for you and what your plans were and where it went.
So, yeah, I started out with a Pro Charge Coyote, and I was really big into Mustangs and stuff like that. And my mom got breast cancer back in 2021. It came back. She beat it once, and it came back. And at that moment, my game plan was to build something in her honor. We knew she didn't really have long, so we kind of got to work. I sold my Coyote Mustang to make room to pay for her final expenses and everything. Sold a bunch of other stuff and bought this thing out of a field in Illinois, and had the idea of calling it the Mean Bee. When I bought it, it was nothing but a ratty shell. Put in a ton of man hours to get it looking halfway decent, and me and one of my best friends, Derek McCall, did a lot of work swapping the motor into it, and tried to make it something of a street car. It's been a long 3 years in the running, trial and error, messing with motor setups, nitrous setups, and now turbo.
So originally the motors in it now is what you originally put in it. Is that?
So the first motor was an LS1, and that didn't last long at all. I actually spun a rod bearing, running a little bit of nitrous through it. So that's when we decided to go with this 408.
And you had nitrous on it?
Yep, had nitrous on it. Had a lot of issues out of my nitrous system, and just got fed up with it, got tired of it, and decided to bring it out to Carolina Performance and really start making some steam with it.
So now it's got a 80?
Yeah, it has an 80. It's a little truck motor with a 80 millimeter. We like to keep it pretty basic, not a lot done to it, just 408 with a little 80. It's a fun car. It's not real heavy. It's got a TH400 transmission, leaves out pretty good. So we're going to see what kind of power it makes, see if it does decent. Probably going to have issues with my wastegates, but we're going to find out how that does. I'm just super excited to have it all put together and built in honor of my mom. Her name is Bee, so like I said, I named it the Mean Bee in her memory. Painted it yellow and did all that.
The color yellow, what was the choice? That was the...
Yeah, so the yellow, of course, before the car was even in the works, I'd already determined I was going to build a car yellow for the Mean Bee. And the color is actually a factory Mazda RX-7 yellow. It's called Competition Yellow. Had it mixed up, painted. Told the guy I didn't want a perfect paint job because it's going to be in the street a little bit. Not really worried about looks, just worried about getting down the street. But I really think, if Mom was around today, she'd be tickled with it.
She's here. She's still here.
She's definitely here.
She's here.
I feel like she's with me every time I go down the track. So it's a big thing for me. I'm super excited.
Well, we'll come back. Let's get a couple pulls in here and see what he sees. See if the wastegates are happy or not, and may have to, like I said, change something there. But see what we can do for right now. So
super excited.
some dyno numbers over there, but we were worried about wastegates and we found something else.
Yeah, unfortunately, we found the torque converter is not going to hold.
Before we get into that, we talked about the converter that was in it. So it was a nitrous converter.
Yeah, it was set up for my nitrous setup, and it's just way too loose, blowing right through it. So, and that's what these things are for. You find your weak points, you figure out what you got to do to get better, and that's what we did.
Yeah, we was, like I said, we was a little worried about it being a nitrous converter, but it was like, hey, let's try it anyway just to see how it does respond, and it did pretty much what we was expecting. So.
Blew right through it. But there's a lot of positives. It sounded wicked, and seems like it's going to do really well on the new setup.
I know we was talking some numbers over there. Not going to give that away just yet till we get it. You get everything like it needs to be, but showing on the little pulls and I guess say data log there and the boost it was making, it's
showing some real promise.
I
beyond
think
stuff.
it's gonna make what I told you I felt like it's gonna make, and then it's gonna probably exceed your expectations.
By far. I mean, this thing is blowing my mind. I mean, I was nervous putting on the rollers for the first time, but now that it's done and over, I'm giddy. I'm excited. I can't wait to get behind the wheel and see what this thing does on the track. It just makes me so happy. I've had so many hands on this car, and so many people, gave me a hand here and there working on this thing between Carolina Performance, Derek McCall over at Big D's Garage, Robert Dildine, got to throw him in there. He'll get upset. Got to make sure.
He makes sure that you eat every day.
Exactly. He kept me fed. And of course, I never want to see those taillights. I don't think I ever will. But we'll
Anyway.
see about that. Got to throw that in there. Got to burn him a little bit.
So
Got to keep him on his toes.
So the next step is get the converter swap.
Got to get the converter swapped. We're about definitely going to have to change the wastegates. They're screaming up top.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pushing out way too much volume for what they're made for. So we're going to upgrade the wastegates, get a converter in it, and then she should be making some steam.
Yeah. All right, it's time to get the transmission out of this little RX-7 and get the new converter swapped into this thing. So out with the old and in with the new one. Well, there's one of the old wastegates. There's another one laying over there. Robbie's over here working on preparing and getting ready for the new ones to be put on. So we'll show you them when he gets it done right here. The new wastegates are on. Robbie's gonna get them hooked up, turn the way he wants them, get everything set. Then gonna get to start making some pulls with this one again. Watching you, it's all on you. See how these new converter wastegates do right here.
I'm excited and nervous.
Something missing on the dyno there.
Little yellow RX-7.
So, and we got somebody doing a burnout in the Focus ST out there. First of all, I mean, y'all seen a little tire smoke coming there. I guess we'd say that's part of the new car, new setup blues there. had one tire rubbing just a little, so he wasn't really turning it hard on the RPMs. And obviously, we were watching it close and trying to make some clearance
Oh yeah.
as it was making pulls there. But as far as whatever you want to say on horsepower and torque, that's up to you.
Yeah, 300 horsepower, 300 torque, real light with the rotary, you know. No, I made really good power. Super excited about
Minimal
it.
boost.
Yeah, real conservative boost. We didn't push it too hard. Just like Robert said, we had a lot of clearance issues. The car is not really meant for a 28-inch tire. It's a RX-7. It's not a Mustang or Camaro, so getting wheels and tires to fit underneath there is kind of a challenge. Trying to figure it out, get all that situated, roll some fenders, beat some stuff. That was a challenge. We were fighting that today, doing some grinding. Really wanted to be a little bit conservative with it. Ran into some issues.
But you know, it's like we was talking there. That's part of, you don't
Yeah.
know. You threw a belt one time there, and you're like, who knew it was going to throw a belt till you actually, because that was really the hardest car's been run since the turbos setups been put on it.
Oh.
Other than the first couple of dyno pulls earlier, but
It's hard to see all the hiccups you're going to have with something custom, something that's not really on a forum or anything like that. There's a lot of trial and error, and you know, we got the belt size a little bit too big, slung the belt. That was an issue. Got it situated pretty quick. Ran up to parts store, got one. Need a bigger catch can. That's a huge ordeal.
yeah, we was talking about that earlier. It was like, hey, you got a good catch cam, but it's not for what you're going to be doing. So
Right. We tried to use the Mighty Mouse, a smaller catch can from when it was all motor, and it just wasn't up to the task of all the boosts we were pushing through it. So had to upgrade that. That was a big ordeal. Kind of worried me a little bit,
yeah, oh yeah.
but we got it situated. Super stoked, man. I'm super stoked. Over the moon. Golly. I really want to thank Carolina Performance and Derek McCall and everybody, Robert Dildine, everybody that had a hand in building my car and helping me with my car. It's been a long, 4 years putting this thing together. And it's still not 100%.
No,
We
but
still got ways to go.
it's like Robbie said there a minute ago, you're 90% there.
90%.
I mean,
and it feels damn good.
the other 10% is going to come quick. It's just the little stuff there,
Oh,
quick fixes.
I mean, like I said, you're going to find stuff, custom stuff like this. Robbie got the converter in, and it feels so much better than the nitrous converter we had
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, it's a lot tighter with the converter as far as coming up on a boost. The biggest thing is when you get ready to run it on the track, basically see how the car reacts on the track, and if it's still not exactly where you want it to be, or according to what you see in the data logs, we can always go in there and change the stator out anyway if it needs just a little love there. So
Make the adjustments needed for sure. Changed wastegates too. Forgot about that.
yeah, I got that in there earlier. You just missed it. So
Those things were screaming last time. Now they sound great. Everything's working great. It's just, man, it feels good. Feels real good.
you sure enough don't want to tell no dyno numbers, or
Conservative numbers, it made upwards of 700-800 horsepower. We'll just leave it in that ballpark.
and torque was
Torque was astronomical. It was awesome. 408 really shined with the torque. That big cubic inch really put in the work.
and he never really twisted it on the RPMs either.
Nah, I think the farthest he rung it out was like 6,200 RPM, so it wasn't pushing it out to 72 like I normally shift at. It's really conservative.
And I may catch, some people, if they leave comments, I might catch a little flack for not showing the dyno numbers, but I know you're trying to do the car for certain classes and
Yeah.
a certain time anyway, so
Yeah, we got a time in mind. Really, the next step is getting the suspension work done and dialed in. Doing the other 10% of little minor things I got to get straightened out, and suspension is a huge thing now. It wasn't an issue as much on motor because it just worked, but now it's going to need more to plant that power. A huge part.
And then, as a scene right there, you went out there and done a couple little test hits, sort of say, out there just to.
Yeah, I had to do it for Dale a little bit. Been a long few months waiting on this thing and working on it, and long nights, and that's my stress reliever. That's how I get everything out. You know, it's everything I dealt with my mom passing. I put into that car. My grief, my struggles, I put into that car, and you know, it felt good to actually get in it and rip it. Man, I had to do it for Dale.
It's going to pay off for you. So,
Oh yeah.
so I guess what's the next step?
Getting the other 10% done and work on suspension and really start testing at the track. Get out there and hopefully put up some wins for Carolina Performance.
Yeah, like I said,
that
I
comes with
mean,
time.
we've talked off camera about some things you and your wife priorities. You're taking care of.
Absolutely. Plans have kind of changed. I was wanting to really go max effort with it, but my wife's going back to school. We're having to cut back on some budget stuff, a little less car parts, a little less money on that. So we're going to be kind of conservative with it in the next couple of years, run some classes that we think it's going to be competitive in, and in a couple of years we're really going to start digging back into it, maybe do a little tubular front end action and maybe change some turbo setups and stuff. Go with a little more power.
Oh yeah.
Power and suspension.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and what your wife decided to do is nothing. It's going to benefit you both
Absolutely.
later on in life. So we've had that. Like I said, we've had that conversation off camera. So I told you it's going to be worth it. So
It's going to pay off.
yeah, it will. But other than that, I think somebody run off scared, didn't they?
Yeah, I think there was a silver coyote that just didn't want to be a part of it. I'm not sure his name, but
Nah, he told me he was going to go get some rest. He hadn't had much sleep.
he's
so.
running on 3 hours. I'm just giving him a hard time. He's, like I said, Robert helped me with my car a ton, so
Oh, yeah.
just gotta give him a hard time because he's always giving me a hard time. So it is what it is. We've always had a competitive nature back and forth, but
Push each other.
yeah, exactly. That's the only way to be. So, but we're looking forward to this season and really doing something with the car. I'm excited for it.
Well, that's about all I got. If that's all you got.
I'm good if you're good.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed it, leave us some comments. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next one.